And go for it, Hansie.
Thank you,
Your thoughts
Sean.
on Bloem.
Um, yes, so this is the second episode or part from Bloemfontein conference. Yeah, we did share quite a lot in the previous Zoom meeting, but as I said, there's so many things. It's impossible to share 3 days in 2 Zooms. But anyway, I will share with you the highlights, and what we haven't shared, Sean will share with you. Okay, we know the story about Andy Weil. He was previously Louis Smith's downline. And thank you, Jenny Potter, for that info. And as Charlie said, like this year, the whole team has been to Cape Town. And so the next trip will be in 2026, and then they will be going to Egypt. And it seems to me you would love the Eagle team to have the Eagle team shirt at the Summer Impact. He said, it's an impact the new life do, in God we trust. So I know it's expensive, but I'll make a plan. So, and he said it's all about integrity, trust, care, well manner, sow, and you grow. He said we must go to like the Cape Town where the world team and Sapphires went with the PTs. Yeah, I think that is an awesome experience. So, okay, on the Saturday morning, Sean did mention it, and that was the MC for Saturday was a lady from Tanzania. I think her name was Evelyn, as Sean mentioned. And she's a director. She qualified for a director in 8 months. And so that is amazing. And then she introduced a panel to the stage, which was the 4 Ruby directors. And that was Krishna and Gloria. As Sean mentioned, they did the home cleaning, home care cleaning products, and they just touched on the nutrients. As you all know, for those who are new on the Zoom and don't know, if you go into your Eagle team or ask your upline, they've got beautiful videos of the home care, which is LDC Super 10 Care and G1 Laundry, which Krishna did. I think she did a phenomenal job. And then next was Edna from Namibia and Deborah from South Africa. They did the Nutrihans products, and they are both directors. And then the whole food nutrition, as Sean mentioned, was Dr. Asiza and Melissa. And yeah, Melissa, it just shows you, even if we use the products, it's not to say that we're not going to get sick or not going to die. But the main thing is we must take care and look after our bodies, because we are not machines that can just go on and on. We get tired, which is normal. And that's also because of the lot of stress we have nowadays. And as Sean mentioned, she was in hospital, Melissa, for hemorrhoids. And then she took 3 alfalfas per day. And that helped her tremendously. Also with the iron her iron was depleted. And Dr. Asiza, she shared about the nutrition too. This synthetic products that's made in a laboratory, like vitamin C and B, which is very hard on the kidneys. And as we all know, our brain needs a lot of fat, soluble fats like vitamin A, D, and E. Our brain stores a lot of fat. And thank goodness, I wanted to say thank God, for the Eagle, for the Scientific Advisory Board, the whole food products, which is very concentrated. And then she also mentioned the phytodefense which is the carotenoids, flavonoids, and crucifers. And so in between, I must say, in Bloom, it's fantastic to learn each other better and building relationships. I mean, Sean was just educating us and learning us a lot of things. We just bombarded him with questions, and we went to bed late, and in between we had coffee and chatting and have rusks, and it was very nice, and a lovely fire in the background, so everything was perfect. And then the train in would help with the cells. So the cell membranes is soft, and so the toxins can go out, the waste, and the nutrition can go in. And also Isiza also mentioned to lessen the toxins in our home. As we all know, our body is the biggest organ, and what you put in or what you use in the house will have an effect. Thank you, Shung. Thank God I made it.
Well done. Yes. Thank you. And it's always good to keep my brain alive too. So ask questions, it helps me. All right, so we're going to carry on from where I left off the other day, which was Charlie's business tips. And then we had Adelina and Hansi and Bingi, who did a session as well. Always dream big. And your heart needs to be all in the business, not just a little bit here and there. You're in or you're not in, because you have to be committed. Never quit the business before you're a world team member. And I've heard it said by other people, never quit the business on a bad day. And we're going to have bad days. It happens in any business and in life. You have down days. Tell my patients the same things. You're going to have the odd down day. It's okay. But you're going to have a whole lot more good days. Near Life delivers everything they promise. And that is so true. Has anybody ever experienced anything where they've said one thing and done something different? I haven't. And the one comment was, do not let school interfere with your education. So school is one thing, education is a different thing. School ends at grade 12. Education never ends. Learn something new every day. Then we were at a session with Charlie and Grasa on the power of association. Our business is about connecting people and building relationships. So who are you associating with? Who are you mixing with on a daily basis? Because your income is associated with the 5 people you are most associated with. And any change has to be guided by strong values. So how do you choose the leaders who inspire you? And I often say this, that there's a lot of people in charge of various organizations and things, but there's not that many leaders. It's the same as a teacher. There's a lot of teachers, but not too many educators. Or should I say the other way around? There's a lot of educators, but not too many teachers. And there's a lot of people in charge, but not necessarily leaders. There are 3 kinds of people: those who affect positively, those who affect you negatively, and those who don't affect you at all. Choose which ones you're going to associate with. And education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. And that was a quote by Albert Einstein. Be very careful about what you think and talk, because what goes on here, what comes out here, you got to be careful about what comes out here. Look at people who are going where you want to go, not those on the same level as you. So if you want to grow, don't look at your level, look up. Same as you want to grow, you're not going to look here, And you're not going to look down there. You're going to look at those who are going up. And Hansi's comment was, have a low IQ. And IQ stands for I quit. Plan every day on your calendar. If you don't plan it, time will run away from you. And I know that from experience, and I know that's one of my biggest downfalls and something I'm working on changing, because if it's not planned, it's not on the calendar, not going to happen. And set up a goals book with photos. And as I said on Tuesday, what the one lady had said was that she photoshopped herself into her dreams. It's very simple to do these days. Canva, ChatGPT, there's plenty of ways. There's various of these AI things where you tell them, you describe the situation, it'll generate a picture for you. I have no idea how, but it works. So the old days of looking through magazines, that's good. We can now do it digitally online, and then just take a photograph of yourself and put yourself in that picture. It just makes it more realistic, brings it more to life. Then Bingi and Adelina did a session on the importance of setting achievement goals. And those goals need to be PD goals, rank advancement, and team development, not just idle dreams. And by you taking steps, you motivate your team members because they're watching you. You're a leader, your team are watching you. And if you're not taking the steps, the team are going to follow you. The first steps are important to take as soon as possible within the first 3 months. So this is when you're starting a new person. Get them to take steps as soon as possible. Manager, senior manager, at the very least, qualified distributor, because that way they develop belief. And it's not the responsibility of your upline to make you take steps. It's your business. It's not the upline that has to sit over you and go and move. It's our business. We need to take the responsibility to take the steps, because otherwise you're back in a job because your boss is telling you what to do and when to take it. And we don't have bosses. We are our own boss. When we believe in the business, that's when we become more effective. You can believe the business. When you believe in the business, that's when you become more effective. In order to make profit, you have to sell product. We always say this isn't a business of sales. It actually is, but it all depends on your definition of sales. Because if somebody is going to be giving you money, you've got to sell them on the idea of giving you money for something. So we're all selling something every single day, whether it's our time to our boss or whether it's a product to a customer. We're all selling something. So it all depends on your definition of sales. Always follow up your customer and your downline consistently. Somebody had said that they follow up the customers at the end of the month, and they follow up the team in the middle of the month.
Charlie said that.
Yes. If you don't know the incentive goals, you can't encourage your team to run. So sell the incentives. And be intentional with who you present to. Don't just randomly present. The person you're presenting to needs to be one that you've already qualified, and then you can be intentional with them. Making money honestly is not evil, and using it wisely as a tool is good. I know personally, we often have this thought of, oh, money's bad. And often that quote is put out that the love of money is the root of all evil. And it's not. It's the love of money. And what are you going to do with that money? Now, you can have a hammer and you can break things with it, but you can have a hammer and use it as a constructive tool. So money is the same thing. And if you don't have the money, you can't be effective in your business or your ministry. I was listening to somebody say today that it's all very well and good giving away things for nothing, but your power department, in our case, Eskom, isn't going to be too receptive of that idea. So you've actually got to charge for things in order to make a living. So it's not an evil thing. Um, Taking steps is a duty and a responsibility. If you want to build the business and develop the business, you've got to take steps and treat the business as a business, not as a hobby, like some of us. Um, be coachable and teachable. And there's a big difference over there. And make goal setting duplicatable, because we can all tell people what to do, but if they can't duplicate what we are doing, they're never going to go anywhere and they're going to get frustrated. And then there was a lady by the name of Husnam. I think, hopefully I got her name correct. Husnam Kupeti from Tanzania. I don't know her, never met her before. The comment was, trainings are vital for growth, which we all know. It's not just about making money, but more about improving yourself. I know my personal development of this, if it wasn't for this business, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. Don and Debbie, you know where I was. And if it wasn't for the personal development, that has been more valuable to me than any bonus check I've ever received. Never mind the results of the products. Whatever you want in life, you can get if you're willing to work for it. And I have this fight with my kids on a daily basis. Oh, I want. You say, okay, well, what are you prepared to do in return? And there's a lot of people out there doing exactly the same thing today. Oh, I want. Or he's got so much money, he must give me. No, no. Why has he got so much money? He worked for it. I don't begrudge Charlie 1 cent because he's earned every last cent that he's got, plus more. And think big. And think this. Think this. Don't be afraid to fail, as failure is not final. And that's quite a valuable lesson, that, because I know that's always been my problem. I don't want to try that because what if I fail? What if I end up looking stupid? Well, if you don't fail, you don't learn. You've got to do it to learn. And the most proficient people have failed more often than those who aren't. And if we don't fail, we don't learn. Talk to people and get paid. That's how simple the business is. If you don't talk to people, you don't get paid. It's just how life works. And then Alta Bolton gave a very good session on lead by example. And I think they're probably the best examples to teach that. Mm-hmm. She says, use the opportunity, don't lose it. And people will follow what you do, not what you say. Ask yourself, are you a good ambassador for Neolife and your team? If the answer is no, maybe you need to change something. We affect everyone's business in what we do or don't do. And sometimes the don't do is probably more important than the do. Don't allow your success or pin level to go to your head. Stay humble always. And what better example there of Charlie and Alta, who are not afraid to get their hands dirty and get down there with us. You know, they're way up there. They're 5 diamond directors. They have every right to sit back and demand other people do everything, but they don't. And that is always what has struck me with this company. When I've seen Kendra helping to move chairs and tables into position, She's the CEO, for heaven's sake. And I've heard other people talk about it, that if they're fortunate enough to invite her around for supper, Kendra will be missing after dinner is done. Kendra is missing. And when they go looking for her, she's in the kitchen washing the dishes. Stay humble. Humility attracts and egotism repels. I think we probably all can think of examples of people, oh, look at me, I'm so wonderful. And they're not attractive. They actually push you away because you think, oh, they think they're better than anybody else. Stay humble and be approachable. I mean, Charlie and Alta, anybody can go up to them and they will spend as much time as they need to with that person. They're approachable. It's not, oh, no, don't stay away from me, I'm a multimillionaire. Be your own best customer. We all know that one. Develop a good team of retail customers because that's where you're getting a lot of extra PV. And good service gets you loyal customers. Support the people that you sponsor. Don't just be a headhunter. We've got to help our team. And you need to ask the question, am I the kind of leader who cares for others and gives hope? So we've got to question ourselves on this regularly. And we've heard us say it before, become result conscious, take steps and earn what you deserve. Charlie's said this to me on numerous occasions. Stop throwing money away. There's a fortune to be earned. Do what you need to do to get the money. He wants to give the stuff away, but he's not just going to give it away. Keep the business simple and duplicatable and judge by results. Always remember, it is your achievement goals that will give you your financial goals. There are no shortcuts. Whereas, I know I'm guilty of that one. I'm always looking for a shortcut. If you go this way or that way or that, I'm looking for back roads. I'm looking for shortcuts to get to where I want to go. And in this business, there are no shortcuts. You've got to do the steps and spread your business evenly through legs. We know that. And I know what it's like to deal with a one-legged person. And then Charlie did a session on leadership. Know what your purpose is. Don't just write your vision, but put it into action. I was talking to somebody this afternoon, and I said, don't plan to plan to plan to plan. Plan and do. And again, guilty party. I plan and plan and plan and plan, and I don't do. So you've got to take the steps. And if you trip, so what? You learn from it, you get up, and you go again. Goals are a time limit to taking a step. Put potential into action. We all know the physics about potential energy and kinetic energy and all the rest of it. And there's a lot of potential energy out there. It only becomes effective when you're actually doing things. We all need to be teachable and open to learn. Be hungry. Les Brown is a big one of saying that. If you're hungry, you will make progress. And we see that in the teams from the other countries. Namibia, Mozambique, those are not wealthy countries. But out of the 650 odd people that were there, they made up 2/3 of the teams. And they've had to put in a lot of sacrifice to get there. And they brought guests. I didn't notice a lot of South African guests over there. Hopefully I was wrong. Constantly refine your skills. As Eric Worre always says, plan, do, review. Plan something, do it, review it. If it didn't work, start again. And always refine your skills. You only get better if you keep practicing. They say practice makes perfect. but it's not just practice. Practice and improvement that makes perfect. And there is no such thing as perfect. Always be tolerant of others. Listen and guide them. And the key over here is the listen. As I always say, don't just listen. Listen with your eyes and your ears. Have the ability to Africanize international information. He says it's great looking at all these things overseas, but if you don't Africanize it, it's not going to work here. I'm running out of time again. Be enthusiastic always. Believe in the worth of others. Keep yourself in the best possible condition at all times. Again, I think Charlie's a pretty good example of that. He was out parading around with Alter at 4 o'clock in the morning when it was -3. The rest of us were all stuck up in bed going. You must be responsible for yourself and your team. And always be daring. Life's boring otherwise. And then on day 3, we had the young adults of Nelly, Martha, I think it was Gina and Gabriel. Everyone needs the business. So don't sit in it. Don't be selfish. Make your team feel as if they are the most important people, which they are. Be confident in the products. And I will literally trust these products with my life and the life of my family. Start conversations wherever you are. You don't always have to start a conversation with the idea of signing the person up. Just start a conversation. The art of conversation it's an art. And it's something that maybe we need to do a training on as well, is how do you strike up a conversation with a stranger? How do you get to know them? I think it is something that we need to look at, because that is all that this business is. It's starting a conversation and seeing where it goes to. Social media is made for sharing, lifestyle, benefits, etc. So you can share it. You're not blasting your products on social media. You're sharing the lifestyle. For youth, independence is a highlight. So that's what we need to be selling. The independence from a job, the independence of being able to earn an income while traveling or looking after elderly parents, dependent on the background. Life is to learn. There is more to life than just surviving. And I think it's so sad because so many people do just that. We survive. We don't live, and we need to live. Start by learning and develop accordingly. And then there's another session on the importance of stepping up by Abraham and Husna. You can't step up without growing. We're about 7 minutes left. Stepping up gives you believability. Know what you want and have a burning inner desire as well. Avoid a comfort zone. You don't want to get comfortable. You always want to be going to the next level. It is you against yourself. So we need to lead by example and focus on goals and dreams. And again, this thing came up continuously. Consistency is key. Only way to learn something is to do it. And I think it was Charlie that said, you can't stand next to a car and learn to drive. We can tell you exactly what to do when you're standing next to the car, but you're not going to learn to drive until you get in, turn it on, and go. Don't focus on the result. Focus on the activity. It's those little steps, the daily training, the using the products, the talking to people. Always aim for improvement. And we compete against ourselves, nobody else. We are in the service business. We need to serve with everything that we have. Serve people with love and care and help them get what they want. What do you want? Our wants will follow if we help other people get what they want. We know the story from Zig Ziglar. You will get everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. Focus on goals and dreams. Between where we are and where we want to be requires a little bit extra, not a lot, just a little bit every single day. How do we walk from here to Cape Town? One step at a time. And then Charlie ended with, you have to believe the future is exciting and good things are going to happen to you. We need to be the example of good health. Work out where you will be in 10 years and put it in writing. So where do you want to be 10 years from now? Write it down. Don't live in the past. It's gone. Just learn from it. It's not over until God says it's over. Not the fat lady, God. Know where you're going to go and what you need to do to get there. Just like going from here to Bloemfontein. How do we go? Are there roadworks in the way that we need to bypass around and that we need to deviate around? Know where you're going to go and work out how to get there. Always have a deadline. Make a total commitment, even if you work part-time. Never just deliver an order, but take time to get another order for month end. Got 4 minutes left, I know. You need consumers to grow the business. A repeat of what Alta said. Every challenge you get makes you stronger. That's how, if you're going to gym, exactly what you're doing. You're challenging your muscles and your body to work a little bit extra to get better and to get healthier and get stronger. Use the word concept, not business. Would you be open to looking at a concept to earn some extra income, not a business? Every person you know knows 4 people you don't know. So I think it was Eric Warrior who says, well, make a friend, learn to know their friends. Make a friend, learn to know their friends. Every person is a door. And that was Bloemfontein. So we have 3 minutes if you want to make any comments or ask questions.
What about the candles? That was also
Yeah, no, that you just had to be there to experience. There's
very,
no way I
very
can even
emotional.
attempt to put that one into words.
Yes, it better be recorded. It was excellent, Sean. Thank you.
That was recorded.
It has to be recorded
Was
for
recorded.
those who are not here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And even the Sunday was very, very good.
Yeah, the service in the morning. All right. So who's coming to Bloemfontein next year?
Yep.
It's, I think, the second weekend of June. And it might only be around about 0 degrees at the time, not -20. Right. Yeah, Debbie, we can't hear you.
What's the name? Peebles?
Yes, Ashley Peebles. Yeah, that's on the 12th. I've got a full car already. I've booked.
Good. If they're looking for whether, sometimes they hire a hall with what they think are going to come, and then we've all squashed in like sardines, and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So they need to know at least what size hall they have. And then for Bloemfontein as well. Yeah. Also needs to, well, Victoria,
Yeah.
Victoria. We also need to book for Victoria for that summer.
All right. So 1 minute left. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Stop the recording.